Abs are made in the kitchen. No, I think they're made in the gym. In this video, you're going to find out because I'm going to teach you 4 proven methods on how to get a six-pack. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to learn how to build more muscle, how to lose more body fat, and in this case we're talking about how to get six-pack abs. And right at the very end of this video, I'm going to show you 3 of my best exercises to build your six-pack. The first thing I want to say, and I need to say a few things before we get into the actual tactics. The first thing I need to say is if you're above 20% body fat, even if you're sort of 15 to 20% body fat, don't try to get abs. I will leave an image on the screen right now for you to look at and get a rough estimation of what body fat percentage you might be at. And if you are about 15 or 20% body fat, don't worry, the tips in this video are still going to be helpful for you to lose body fat. But if you're at a higher body fat percentage, your goal really should be to lose your first 10 or 15 pounds, not to get six-pack abs. That should be a later goal of yours once you've got a little bit more of the weight off. To get six-pack abs, we really want to be under 12% body fat for them to be visible. Another thing I want to say before we get into big tips is a lot of people wonder, can you reshape your abs? So everybody's abs are different. If you see 2 people with a six-pack, their abs both look different. They're different shapes, they're sort of positioned in different places. Some people have actually an 8-pack or even in some cases more than that. The truth is, no, that's all genetic. You can't actually change the shape of your abs. You can get thicker abs, you can get bigger abs, you can lose more body fat and make your abs more defined, but you can't change the way your abs look. That's just genetics. So the first tip that you can do to lose body fat and get six-pack abs is be in a calorie deficit. This just means burning more calories than you consume each day. I've talked a lot about calorie deficit in my videos. A simple calculation to achieve a calorie deficit is take your body weight in pounds, so LBS, and multiply that by 12. That will give you the amount of calories you should aim to eat per day. If you do that consistently for a few weeks and weigh yourself, you will see that you have lost body fat. If you haven't, you're either doing 2 things. You're either not tracking that correctly and you're not actually hitting that number at all or anywhere close to that number, or what you can do is multiply it by 10 and see if that works. And you might need to be a little bit more aggressive, so you would multiply your body weight in pounds by 10 if that didn't work. Under absolutely any circumstances, you should not be multiplying your body weight by any lower than 10, because 10 is still extreme. If you are losing body fat more than 1 to 2 pounds per week, you actually might want to consider adding a few hundred calories, because we don't want to lose body fat too quickly. To get six-pack abs, it needs to be something we can sustain for a long time. So the next tip, I want to give you 2 tips in one, because I always like to sort of give a little bit extra if I can. And that is try intermittent fasting, but I'm also going to talk about cardio. So intermittent fasting is brilliant for losing body fat. It's also one of the healthiest things we can do for our body. I did a beginner's guide on intermittent fasting just a few weeks ago. You can watch that video after this if you want to know how to get started with that. If you've tried intermittent fasting and you don't like it, or you're not an open-minded person and you just do not want to get into intermittent fasting, what I recommend you do instead, and this still applies to you if you do intermittent fasting as well, but when you wake up in the morning, don't eat anything, go to the toilet, have some water, go straight outside, do a 20 to a 30-minute brisk walk. At the end of the walk, what I want you to do, if you're not intermittent fasting, is do 5 minutes of HIIT cardio, 5 to 10 minutes of high intensity interval training. If you are extremely overweight or obese, you might not be able to do this, and that's absolutely fine. You just stick to the walking. But if you can and you're not doing intermittent fasting, I recommend doing your 20 to 30 minute of slow cardio. So your LISS training, LISS, followed by your high intensity interval training or HIIT training right after that. You can then go home and have your breakfast. So maybe you have eggs and oats or whatever you have for your healthy breakfast. If you're doing intermittent fasting, do the walking, but I don't recommend doing the HIIT cardio during your fasting period and then go maybe 5 or 6 hours into the day without eating. But if you're being really aggressive, you can still do that as well. The cardio I don't want you to do is running or jogging, or running and jogging on a treadmill. The reason I don't want you to do this is because it's not that it's so bad. A lot of people talk about how you lose muscle mass. There is conflicting studies on either side to prove that type of cardio does reduce muscle mass, and there's studies to also show that it doesn't. So the evidence is sort of somewhere in the middle, but whether it does or it doesn't, that's not the point. The point is the other two types of cardio are superior. The high intensity interval training is going to help you burn the most calories because of how intense it is. That's going to also increase your testosterone way more than other cardio will. And just doing the walking, I love this because it helps to burn body fat, but also it's extremely light on your nervous system. If we're doing weight training, that can be quite heavy on the nervous system. And because walking's not very intense, it doesn't cause you to feel hungry right after doing it. Running and jogging and using the treadmill, that's all healthy. It's good for your heart, but it's not the best type of cardio. I really recommend that you avoid that at all costs unless your goal is just to be healthier, not to lose body fat. So my next point before the bonus tip is actually train the abs. The abs are like any other muscle, in that by training them in the gym, they will become bigger and thicker, meaning they'll be more visible. By training the abs, we're not going to burn body fat in that region. You can't burn body fat from a specific area. Your body will just take body fat from wherever it wants by being in a calorie deficit. However, by training your abs, they'll become thicker, which obviously means they'll look better, but it also means you'll have to lose less body fat to reveal your abs. So obviously we all know everybody has abs, it's just most people have body fat covering those abs. The amount of body fat you'll have to remove will be lessened if your abs are thicker because they'll pop out more. The bonus tip I promised is 3 exercises that are really good at building the abs that you can kick off with. So leg raises, reverse crunches, and just a simple crunch. You can alternate these and I recommend you do. I do recommend starting with the leg lifts as they're the hardest exercise. In terms of how many days you want to train abs for the best results, some people believe you should train abs every day, some people believe once a week, some people believe 3 times a week. For me, I think the best way to train abs is actually every other day, because I do full body workouts and that's what I recommend. If you're training full body Monday, Wednesday and Friday, then you can train abs Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday and take Sunday off. If you want to train abs every day, you can, but by training them every day does not mean they will become bigger. It just means you're splitting the sets up into every day and doing less every day because you need to allow time for those abs to recover. So what I recommend is doing 3 sets of those 3 exercises 3 times a week. So that would be 9 sets of abs in total. So you might do 9 sets on Tuesday, rest on Wednesday or do your full body workout. Thursday do another 9 sets. What I want you to do is do 20 seconds of the exercise followed by 10 seconds of rest. So get your phone out and use your timer. And if you do that consistently for let's say 6 months, you will have bigger, thicker abs as a result of it.